and he claims that he has lost because he hasn't made it. His potential money he could have made. He's lost $500,000 by helping Cruz.
Did he report that to the IRS?
He was complaining about it.
I don't know. I mean, last episode I heard of him, he said his listenership is up, which if you don't know, a lot of people listening might not know.
And we talked about this on our show. Follow our show because we got it all breaking news.
Yeah, during an election year, all talk radio, political shows are going to always be through the roof. As a matter of fact,
our show here at Smith Radio,
Sean Hannity was made, and Bill O'Reilly. Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly were made by the debacle in 2000 with the election not scandal, but the controversy of who won it.
Right.
Because it was a daily back and forth. Who said what? Who's doing what? Who's going to win this thing? Because nobody was sure who was going to win for like a couple months.
I mean, were we into March yet?
Almost. Until finally...
the president takes office like January 15th.
Well, what happened was the Democrats kept on saying, no, we need to keep recounting the Florida votes until they come out our way. Until finally, the Supreme Court of Florida said, no, we're not going to recount this anymore. We already recounted it so many times. We're not going to keep recounting this until they go your way because we've recounted them enough. And then the Supreme Court of the U.S. upheld it. And but anyway, this took a while to figure this out, to finally come down to a conclusion. And during that time, all of these shows were going through the roof. Before the 2000 debacle, nobody knew who the heck Hannity was, and nobody knew who the heck Bill O'Reilly was. And it was that thing that made him go through the roof.
Wow, that's amazing. So where were we at this... Okay.
So my point is him being up 25% now might actually be worse than...
Because he should be up 50%.
50%, right.
Okay.
He should have 50% listeners.
Okay, so as we're saying, this reporter is being very poignant to the very nice and not disrespect. Like
I thought it was respectful.
Like Trump could not say, "Hey, you disrespecting me. You're not treating me fairly."
That wasn't a very nice question.
So
he says that. You know what? That wasn't a very nice question.
And Trump couldn't say that to this because it was a nice question.
No, he wouldn't say that. He would not say, I don't like the way you're treating me.
Right.
I'm going to answer your question. Stop interrupting. Stop interrupting.
Thank you.
That was Carly, by the way, talking over Ted, over the news reporter.
He should have said, "Shut up, Carly," because... Stop interrupting because I'm going to answer this.
Yeah, so it's Carly talking over Ted while Ted's over talking the reporter.
Okay.
What is your publication about?
The Daily Mail, the world's most read English language newspaper.
They've chased
Can we use the last question to talk about
my granddaughters to
Okay, so Carly is now throwing up. Said once he says out with the Daily Mail, Carly turns her head to look at Cruz. They have chased my daughters. They've... Like, as she's going to say that the Daily Caller, they're
bad people. They're bad people is what she's trying to say. She's trying to interrupt his ability to answer the question. And then another reporter, did you hear that? Another reporter right there said, can we ask a question about the economy? Did you hear that?
I'm going to give a very brief answer to your question, which is that the National Enquirer story is complete garbage. It is total lies. It was planted by Donald Trump's henchmen, and I don't think the people of Wisconsin or the people of America have any interest in tabloid trash. I'm going to focus on the issues that matter for the American people.
So he didn't answer the question.
He
didn't answer the question.
And this thing with henchmen, who uses that word?
Trump's using it too.
Is he really?
They're both calling each other henchmen.
Okay.
We're going back to medieval times, I guess.
Because if you listen to that hour-long clip by Stefan, he brings up the whole thing. What is this henchman thing?
Wouldn't that be funny if we had him on and we were like, "So, Stefan," and he goes, "It's Steven." That would be. Sorry about that.
Yes, Mr. Producer is currently saving that soundbite to play when Stefan is on. Thank you. Behind the glass. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness.
So, in part and parcel of all of this, it's really unsettling that I have issues with Cruz is that the Ashley Madison thing. There is an email, and the Ashley Madison was hacked, and there was an email that has been produced that says press@cruz.gov.
Okay.
Cruz press at it's Cruz's email account.
Okay. Well, we don't know. It could be somebody that works for him.
Okay, that's fine. That's true. It could be somebody could be gone rogue and planted that, signed up, done all that. However, if you were going to sign up under Ashley Madison and use the wrong email address for your own liking, Ashley Madison sends you a confirmation email that you have to confirm that this is a real account. Otherwise, it doesn't become a real account.
If I were Ted Cruz, I would have made an email account that said something like Donald Trump for president @gmail.com.
Correct.
So
then used Ashley Madison for my pleasures.
Right.
Well, which didn't happen. So it was confirmed. The email was confirmed that yes, I'm using Ashley Madison.
So it was him.
Unless other people have his password into his email account.
Oh, his email got hacked. That's going to be his excuse.
Okay, now that that's been said, and this Ashley Madison thing, if you all know, it's not new news. This actually came out like a month ago or so.
Yeah, and I actually forgot about it until it got brought up again. I was like, that's right.
Now that it's that old, how do you not, as Ted Cruz, blast anybody for every... No, that is just falsely incorrect. There is no way I would have allowed... That's just stupid of me. Who would be so stupid as to use a government account? Well, Ashley Madison has shown that the majority of users at Ashley Madison have government accounts in the Congress and the Senate and military.
And they use them.
Yeah, and they use them.
They don't make a new Yahoo or Gmail account.
No, it's so many. It's in the tens of thousands of governmental employees who get paid by the government, and they get paid by us taxpayers, that have Ashley Madison accounts, and the hack that broke into Ashley Madison exposed all of that by throwing all the emails out in the ether. And they're out there forever.
Well, I would assume that they're holding on to some of them so that they can extort some money out of it.
They attempted that at first, and then Ashley Madison went quiet, and they went quiet. And then finally they said, you know what? Dump.
They dumped?
Dump. Here they are. You didn't move fast enough.
Boy.
Didn't move fast enough.
That'll prevent the person that hacked it from getting money for it.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Interesting.
So, where does this go? I don't know. It just shows the character of Ted Cruz, the opposite of what he's claiming he is. That's all I'm saying. If he did it, he did it.
Somebody wrote a tweet or a meme. I can't remember which one it was, but I'm paraphrasing what it said. Something to the effect of Corey Lewandowski,
Yes.
touched one woman. He's in jail. And Cruz touched 7 women.
And he's free.
He's running for president.
This is sounds like a Hillary Clinton scandal.
She's in charge of the bimbo eruption, which, by the way,
she's been doing pretty good at it.
If you're not pretty old, you probably don't even know all this stuff. I mean, you got to be at least in your mid-40s to have a grasp on what she was doing while her husband was, in all of his sex scandals.
Right.
So if you're any younger than that, either A, you were just too young to understand what was going on, or B, you were too young to care. Like, to be honest with you, I got to brush up on the bimbo eruption stuff because I was in my really early 20s, like maybe even teens. I was probably in my teens when all this stuff was going down. And so, that's going to be tough for people.
So can we do one one last soundbite of Cruz, and then we can move on to the abortion.
Yes, we've got to get into
this.
We're going to beat up on the abortion.
We got 50 minutes, but we're going to get into it.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Okay, there's a guy named Thom Hartmann. It's the Thom Hartmann Show, and Thom is spelled Thom. So would that be Thom or Tom? That is Tom.
Yeah, some people that go by that have their name Thomas, which is spelled with a TH.
Thomas.
Sometimes they keep the H when they chop it down to Tom.
Okay. And this guy is older. He's got a syndicated radio show. He's got the radio voice. he's the radio voice.
I love the radio
guy.
voice.
So this is an article that he's explaining that he got from a very well-known national newspaper that printed this article about Ted Cruz from the past, and he picked it up off of a guy from Twitter. So it's a verifiable article that was written by Ted Cruz that a lot of people don't know about because it's old.
Ooh,
but
okay.
I'm trying to paint this picture of this
You're
whole
just
thing.
trying to smear him.
No, I'm using markers, not watercolors. I'm using Sharpie markers.
Oh, there's not going to be any smearing.
No.
All right.
So here's the Thom Hartmann Show.
By the way, this was posted by the Daily Edge on Twitter, actually, at the Daily Edge. Who I just started following because I saw this over at DU and I thought, whoa, and so I went on Twitter and tracked him down. This is fascinating. This is in the New York Times. In 1997, Michael Wayne Haley was arrested after stealing a calculator from Walmart. This was a crime that merited a maximum 2-year prison term, but prosecutors incorrectly applied a habitual offender law. Neither the judge nor the defense lawyer caught the mistake, the error, and Haley was sentenced to 16 years. So here's a guy who's supposed to be in jail for a maximum of 2 years who gets a 16-year sentence by mistake for stealing a calculator from Walmart. Eventually, the mistake came to light, and Haley tried to fix it. The Solicitor General of Texas at that time, instead of letting Haley go for time served, and he'd apparently been in jail at that point more than 2 years, the Solicitor General of Texas took this case to the Supreme Court to keep Haley in prison for the full 16 years.
This is bad. Why would you go down that road?
To the Supreme Court.
A first offender was accidentally getting applied a multiple offender sentence.
He may have had records or odds and ends, but this did not apply to the multiple offender law. So it incorrectly applied.
Now, who the hell was this Solicitor General who would be so brutal? So hateful, so bizarre. In fact, Justice Anthony Kennedy said to the Solicitor General from Texas, he said, "Is there some rule that you can't confess error in your state?"
That was Justice Kennedy. That's on the record. That's factual. I'm not making any of this up. Justice Kennedy scolding you. That's a scolding, I would think. Maybe?
Yeah, and I think I know where this is, like what the source...
Okay, we'll finish this.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court finally let him out after 6 years in jail for a maximum 2-year offense of stealing a calculator from Walmart.
The Supreme Court let him out. The Supreme Court, not the Texas Court, or Solicitor General.
Who was that Solicitor General for Texas who took this to the Supreme Court and argued this guy should be in 16 years in prison for stealing a calculator from Walmart? Ted Cruz. This note says the case reveals something interesting about Cruz's character. Ted Cruz is now running strongly among evangelical voters, especially in Iowa, but in his career and public presentation, Cruz is a stranger to most of what would generally be considered Christian virtues of humility, mercy, compassion, and grace. Cruz's behavior in the Haley case is almost the dictionary definition of Phariseeism, an overzealous application of the letter of the law in a way that violates the spirit of the law, as well as fairness and mercy.
I know what it is. I think I know what it is. Just based on... we're talking about a guy who has he's undefeated in debates. And one thing that you do
he's been practicing debates since junior high. He was